How's it going?
Good.
Good. Got the hair. There's too much of it at this point. It's getting a little, it's coming dangerously close to Don Jr. up here. It takes too much product to hold it in check.
Let me cut it.
What? I'm not going to let you. I offered. I said, would you cut my hair? And you're like, I don't dare cut your hair.
Well, I don't, but I mean, what could be worse?
What could be worse? All right. Thank you. That's enough. Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're living through some extremely dark times. If God submitted the year 2020 to Black Mirror, they would have rejected the script. Come on, a plague, racial unrest, a racist demagogue with a base coat of global warming? Pick a lane. That's why I'm stunned that we got some actual good news today, because in a majority opinion written surprisingly by Trump appointee Neil Gorsuch, seen here after destroying at the Supreme Court rap battle, the Supreme Court ruled that federal anti-discrimination laws protect gay and transgender employees. This is a momentous change in LGBTQ rights, because now they have them. Up until this moment, in half of these United States, if your boss found out you were LGBTQ, you could be fired. So this is a big gain for human rights. But of course, a big loss for Chick-fil-A, as was acknowledged by its marketing team. Now, Trump responded to the court ruling at a roundtable today.
They've ruled, and we live with their decision. That's what it's all about. We live with the decision of the Supreme Court. Very powerful, a very powerful decision, actually.
Wow. He's got real kid who didn't do the required reading energy. It was a ruling, and as rulings go, it rules. So we live with the ruling, which was, as I said, a decision that they ruled on. In conclusion, Moby Dick was the whale. Most alarmingly, the president also weighed in on the state of the growing coronavirus pandemic.
If we stop testing right now, we'd have very few cases, if any.
Maybe no cases, just a lot of magically dead people. Who knows why? And if you never check their pulse, maybe they're just sleeping. Now, John Bolton's upcoming book was discussed, which the White House claims contains classified material. How much? A lot.
Any conversation with me is classified.
You hear that, reporters? Everything I say is classified, including me saying that. So make sure you print that in your paper so everybody knows you broke the law when you printed it. Sadly, the fight for racial justice is far from over. This weekend in Atlanta, there was yet another fatal police shooting of an unarmed black man, 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks. On Friday night, police answered a complaint about a man sleeping in a parked car at the drive-thru lane at a Wendy's. The man failed a sobriety test, resisted arrest, took an officer's taser, and then pointed and fired the taser at one of the officers as he ran away and was shot twice in the back. Reaction to the killing was quick. Protesters gathered throughout Atlanta and chanted Rayshard Brooks' name. And by Saturday evening, the Wendy's was in flames. Now, one thing that sets this tragedy apart is the death was quickly ruled a homicide. And hours after the killing, Atlanta Police Chief Erica Shields stepped down, and the officer who shot Brooks, Garrett Rolfe, was fired. The story highlights the inadequacy of previous attempts at law enforcement reform, because the officer who shot Brooks recently had 9 hours of use of force training, which focuses on de-escalation tactics. Well, that didn't seem to de-escalate the situation much. Maybe he slept through the training. Luckily, no one called the cops on him. Now, some cities are trying new approaches, like in Seattle, where protesters have set up camp around an abandoned police precinct, calling it the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or CHAZ. A rare instance of the name Chaz appearing in the news without the words intoxicated and catamaran. Protesters have done a little redecorating, starting with spray painting people over police on the precinct sign. Okay, it's a nice sentiment, but the Seattle People Department makes it sound like you're selling human ham. Come on down, half off ground chuck. Rest in peace, Chuck. Honestly, The Chaz seems like a pretty fun place to hang out because free snacks are distributed throughout the neighborhood. There was a screening of the Ava DuVernay documentary 13th, and there are daily speeches and poetry recitals. Well, that's lovely, but I'm not sure how poetry is going to stop the riot police. Wait a second, guys. Put down your shields. This lady's right. So much does depend on a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater. But wait a second. This guy over here says he ate the plums in my icebox. I was saving those for breakfast. Let's go beat his plum-stealing face. The people within the Chaz insist they're improvising as they go along, saying there wasn't an overarching goal to build a commune. In fact, the Chaz is largely leaderless and lacking a clear idea for its future. So, like the rest of America, but with free snacks. Now, a lot of people don't know what to make of the Chaz, but Donald Trump knows he can scare his voters, tweeting, "Does anyone notice how little the radical left takeover of Seattle is being discussed in the fake news media? That's very much on purpose because they know how badly this weakness and ineptitude play politically. The mayor and governor should be ashamed of themselves, easily fixed." I'm told these crazies out in Seattle have even acquired a doomsday weapon called the Space Needle. It's tipped with a deadly revolving restaurant. We must act now before the smoking gun turns out to be a mushroom omelet. Trump's not the only one making up stories about what's happening in Seattle, because this weekend, Fox News published digitally altered and misleading photos on stories about the Chaz, including this photo. Wow, that looks scary. You've got an armed man and a broken window and 3 menacing people roaming through the husk of an old Navy. That's spooky stuff. Spookiest of all, it's totally made up because that's actually 3 different photos composited together. Wow, that is bad. Not just as a breach of journalistic ethics, it's a breach of Photoshop standards. But all of Fox News' best graphic designers are busy making Lou Dobbs look like he's still alive. And that wasn't the only doctored image Fox News posted on their website this weekend, because they also posted this photo with the same gun guy, apparently after he had a terrible accident with the Photoshop crop tool. No surprise, Fox cut off part of his left wing.
We joke, you decide.
Now, after being called out for manufacturing pure propaganda, Fox News has apologized. Still, I'm worried about those guys. I mean, they've attracted protests of their own. Just look over at Fox and Friends. Oh no, it's the protest guy. And wait, right behind you, there's another. It's his twin, and he lost part of his head. Despite the ongoing pandemic and historic civil unrest, Trump is itching to get back in front of his crowds, which is why on Saturday, Trump delivered the commencement address at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Because who better to inspire new members of our military than a draft dodger? Congratulations, suckers. You guys got to get better dads. The most suspenseful moment of the speech was when Trump attempted to quench his thirst.
I hereby absolve all cadets on restriction for minor conduct offenses, and that is effective immediately. Congratulations.
That continues to be weird. I know he famously has never had a cocktail, but he still clearly has a drinking problem. Okay, here we go. We're going in. It's sippy time. Here we go. Lips are ready, pursed and dry. Lips are ready, and not gonna make it. Let's bring in some backup. There you go. Okay, here we go. Thanks, fellas. Great job. I call these guys SEAL Team Sip. Good thing he wasn't wearing a mask. He might have looked weak. After a sip of Watergate, Trump proved that water isn't his only nemesis, so are words.
Right now, America needs a class of cadets that lives by your motto, with vision, we lead. We need you to carry on the spirit of the great General Ulysses S. Grant.
Okay, so he got the name Ulysses S. Grant wrong, but in all fairness, he does root for the other side. But Trump finished strong, if by strong you mean frail, because this is how he exited the stage after his speech. Now we know why he launched his 2016 campaign coming down an escalator. If it had been a ramp, he'd still be coming down. But you can't blame the guy. Anytime he's around the military, those damn bone spurs act up. And I know it sounds like we added that music to make the clip seem more comical, but I promise you we didn't. That's actually what the band played as Trump hobbled down a gradual incline. If we'd picked the music, it would have been this. Now, Trump's a senior citizen, so of course he walks slowly. And it would be pretty immature to waste time weighing in on this, which is why Trump weighed in on this, tweeting, "The ramp that I descended after my West Point commencement speech was very long and steep, had no handrail, and, most importantly, was very slippery. Last thing I was going to do is fall for the fake news to have fun with. Final 10 feet, I ran down to level ground. Momentum." First of all, a little fact check. A ramp can't be both long and steep. The longer a ramp is, the less steep it gets. Second, let's see Trump in the final 10-foot dash. There he is, being careful, and momentum. That wasn't 10 feet. It took longer for me to say the word momentum than it took for him to shamble it. And it didn't help Trump look any younger that yesterday was his 74th birthday. Although for him, every day is like a birthday party. Cake, ice cream, and a sad clown with a painted face. Of course, Trump's Democratic rival is even older. Joe Biden is 77. But his supporters have been sharing videos of Biden from a few years back, confidently striding up that very same ramp. Even more impressive, he knew how to pronounce Ulysses S. Grant's name. Because, of course, they were on the same high school swim team.
Just because you think he'd be a much better president doesn't mean you won't make jokes about how damn old he is. Slam!
We've got a great show for you tonight. I'll be talking to 60 Minutes' John Dickerson. But when we return, Trump's taking his show on the road. Stick around.